The following film contains material that may not be suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Previously on Entangled.
John Mangiaro. Ever heard of him?
The jeweler, Paris-based, big in the luxury market, right?
That's him. He just bought a massive second home here in Brindleton Bay. And guess what? He needs someone to design it, top to bottom.
I knew this place would be an escape. I own everything down to the docks. Figured it was worth the investment.
Mr. Mangiaro has a way of making sure everything runs exactly as he envisions it. He insists on the best for his guests. He wanted tonight to be special. If I may say, it seems he considers you a rather esteemed guest.
He sounds like a man who doesn't hear no very often.
He doesn't, but a family like his doesn't just expect success, they demand it.
You look awfully nice for just a standard business meeting. Custom suit, polished shoes.
I leave for 1 week, and you go on a dinner date with Mr. Mangiaro. You're holding out on me.
It wasn't a date, Julia. It was a business dinner.
I'm very attracted to you.
Let's just keep this professional, John. That's all I'm asking.
The search continues for Nathaniel Hargrave, a prominent Brindleton Bay businessman who was reported missing by his wife a week ago.
And I told you about the AD feature, right? Architectural Digest, Mel. You and John would be front and center.
John speaks so highly of you. I'm sure you've made quite the impression.
I still don't get why John brought that agent into this. We've been moving supply for years. We don't need him or his so-called expertise.
Okay. Let's possibly cut a small deal. You met Ms. Banks tonight, didn't you? I need her away from my husband.
I see you've landed yourself quite a high-profile client, John Mangiaro. My company plans to publish a column on him soon. He's quite the interesting guy.
Hargrave's lover. What's his name? Woody. He was at the party. I wanted to keep him close, see if he knew anything. Paris. One of our buyers is making noise about a rival supplier undercutting us. I need you there to handle it.
We've been running this thing smooth for years, but now unknown faces showing up where they shouldn't tell me that's not a problem.
We're currently investigating the disappearance of Nathaniel Hargrave, but we've recently received a tip suggesting his disappearance may be heavily drug-related.
Everything's under control. Come on, Mel, that didn't look like nothing. The way he was looking at you and the way you looked back, it felt charged.
It's nothing you should be concerned about. How about I say it like that? I started feeling something for you. I just wasn't ready to admit it, and this is exactly why this ends here.
You know, John, maybe you're just not worthy of being loved. No wonder you're 43 years old and have never truly been in love. It's pathetic.
I still can't locate Dufour. No sightings, no chatter. It's like he vanished off the damn map. If there's a new player in town and it's not Dufour, then who the hell is it?
That's exactly what I'm going to find out. I'm going to England. The Moretti family originated in Reggio Calabria, Italy. A small town, but with men who thought big. My father, Salvatore Moretti, wanted more. He moved us to Positano, not just for the view, but for the opportunity. The docks made shipments easier. The money flowed faster. He was dominating every city, every town you could think of. Drugs, weapons, real estate. If it could be controlled, my father owned it. And if he didn't, he took it. He wanted to make his late father proud. My grandfather, John Moretti, the first of his kind, a man who built an empire from nothing. My father thought naming me after him would bless me with the strength to carry on the Moretti name. Maybe he was right. Most nights, our household was filled with arguing, sometimes worse. My mother, Safia, never backed down from my father. She was one of the few people who could look him in the eye and not flinch. And maybe that's why he loved her, and why he hurt her. I was too young to understand what love meant, but I knew what fear looked like, and I saw it in her eyes, more than once.
Safia, you need to stop.
Forget you, Sal. You think I wouldn't find out?
Jesus Christ.
Don't you start acting like I'm the crazy one. I know, Sal. I know what you've been doing.
And what exactly do you think you know, Safia?
That you've been sniffing your own product. That you've been screwing some whore in Naples while I sit here carrying your second son.
Come on, cara mia. Don't act like you didn't know who I was when you married me.
I married a man, not a monster. Do you even see what you're becoming?
You're being dramatic, Safia. That's exactly why we need a fresh start. In Paris.
Paris?
It makes sense. It's time to expand. More shipments, better distribution, a long-term base. And before you say anything, John will adjust. He'll learn.
He's a child, Sal. He doesn't need to learn your world. We just got settled here. He's happy, making friends.
And he'll be fine. It's not like we're never coming back. This will always be home. But Paris? Paris is the future.
You mean it's your future, Sal? I won't let you turn Johnny into you, Sal. And if that's the life you want for him, I'll take him and our unborn child back to Senegal.
You think you'd get far? I would find you. And you wouldn't dare. You are mine, and you know that. And if you think of leaving...
What are you going to do, Sal? Hit me?
I would never do that.
But you have before.
I was probably high out of my mind, Sophia.
That doesn't make it right.
I'm sorry. I want to make this work. I want to be a better man for you, for John. You don't want to leave, Bella Mia. You love me. You always have, and I love you. You're mine, Sophia. Always. I love you. Don't leave me.
They went on like that for 15 more years, screaming, breaking each other down, loving, then tearing it all apart again, until my mother finally left him. She used to say love makes you stay in things you shouldn't be in. I never understood that notion. Because here I am, still in something with no love present. And then there's Mel.
She get it from her mama. Mama say you fuck her right. Body look is unpolite. Tell me in the humble type. Tell me is you down? Cause I'm trying to go up tonight. Balls and hoochies left and right. I just want
Hey. Hey, is that all I get? I should be offended.
Don't start, Mom. You know I've been busy.
Too busy to call your own mother? I was starting to think I had to file a missing persons report.
Okay, I deserve that one.
I'm just teasing. But seriously, long time no hear. I just wanted to check in and hear your voice.
Yeah, I know. I should have called sooner.
You okay?
I'm figuring things out.
And that's okay. Healing isn't a race. You just have to take it one day at a time.
Well, last time we talked, we kind of got into it about Dad.
Mel?
I don't want to argue about him, Mom. I know you love him. I know he worked hard for our family. But you have to admit, he wasn't really there for me, or for Julian.
Your father loves you, Mel.
His love comes with conditions. He wanted me to go to Brightchester, so I did. He wanted me to go into a big-time career and be successful, so I did. He wanted me to marry Josiah because his people had money and a promising future, so I did. And the second I decided to leave Josiah, he turned his back on me.
That's not fair, sweetheart.
Isn't it? He never asked why I left, never cared to know. He already made up his mind about it. In his eyes, I failed.
Mel, you know how he is. Your father has always been about structure, about making sure
He wanted control, and when he didn't have it, he shut me out.
I'm sure he didn't mean to, Mel. Your father was deep in his work, first in the military, then the DEA. He spent his life fighting wars most people never even knew existed. He worked day and night to protect people, to protect entire communities, to protect us. Sometimes that meant being distant. It wasn't easy.
And now he's slowing down in his career and still can't seem to have a decent relationship with his kids.
I didn't call to fight, sweetheart.
And yet, he treats my brother like he doesn't even exist. He barely acknowledges him. Julian is the most successful of us both, yet Dad still looks at him like he's a damn disappointment. And why? Because he's gay?
Your father was raised differently, Mel.
Yeah, and so was I. And I learned to love people for who they are, not who I wanted them to be. Why can't he?
I know you and your brother haven't spoken in a while. I just don't want you to let too much time pass. All you have to do is be honest with him. Tell him why you pulled away.
And what if he doesn't understand? What if he hates me for it?
He won't, Mel. He loves you. You're his little sister. But you shut him out, and he never got to understand why.
Because I was ashamed.
I know. I know you're still healing, but I do hope you find the love of your life one day. Be happy. Start a family. That's all I want for you.
One deep conversation at a time, Mom.
All right. I'll back off, but I don't want to go without hearing from you for too long, okay?
I won't. I promise.
I love you.
I love you too. And on that note, it's time to go to bed. John?
Hey.
Everything okay?
Yeah, I just wanted to hear your voice.
John.
I know, I shouldn't be calling you like this, but I had a moment and I didn't want to sit in it alone. Can I see you?
John.
I won't stay long. I have the layouts from the contractors. Figured I could drop them off.
You could have sent them to my email.
I could have, but that's not really why I want to come over. Please, Mel.
Fine.
I'll be there soon.
Thank you for bringing those over.
No problem.
You're quiet. Something on your mind?
Something like that.
You don't have to tell me, but I'm here if you want to.
I couldn't sleep.
I couldn't either.
Work?
Woody's got me going over a few things before he heads out for a conference. He's probably one of the pickiest clients I've had. I like him, though. I figured I'd take advantage of the break while I have it.
A break sounds nice.
What were you thinking about?
My father.
What about him?
I haven't talked to him in a while, but even when I don't, he's still there. Always has been. In my head. In the way I do things. It's like no matter how far I run, there's still a piece of him in me.
You're not him, John.
Aren't I?
No, you fight too hard to be anything like him. John, what did you tell my ex-husband about us?
Why are you asking me that?
Because he came by that night after your interview, accusing me of sleeping with you.
I didn't know it was your ex-husband at first, not until he mentioned it. I mean, you've talked about him before, but you never really said his name. After the interview, he questioned me, asked what it was like working with you.
And what exactly did you say?
I told him the truth.
You know, I admire a man who knows how to handle business. You've got your hands in a lot of places. Quite the empire.
Appreciate the compliment.
Yeah, did some digging. You own quite a bit of property, including one in Berkshire, England.
You've been keeping yourself busy.
I dig a lot on everyone I interview. Comes with the job. These are interesting. Got a little something going on in all these places, or are you just a fan of geography?
A little of both.
My family's from England, actually, outside of London. I was thinking of heading over there to visit them soon.
Is that so?
Yeah, small world, huh? Speaking of things I've been digging into, I hear you've been working with my ex-wife, Mel Brown. Or I guess it's Mel Banks now. Changed her name right after the divorce. Guess she wanted to erase every trace of what we had.
Oh, so your ex-wife is Ms. Banks. Didn't expect that pairing.
Yeah, so how is it working with her?
She's exceptional. One of the most talented designers I've ever worked with. A visionary, really.
That right?
Yeah. And her home? Beautiful. Every room more impressive than the next.
Ah, yes. Bayview Ridge. Oh, how I miss that place. I decided to hand it over to her after the divorce. It is rightfully hers. She designed the entire thing. Which room was your favorite?
The bedroom. It has this sultriness I wanted in my own home. She designed it well. Warm, intimate, indulgent.
Sounds like you've spent a good amount of time admiring her work. Well, I suppose talent deserves recognition, but I think we've entertained this topic enough. Thanks for the interview. I'll see you around.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. So, I just spoke about you. Told him how talented you are, how amazing you are.
Oh, really? 'Cause to me it sounded like you told him more than that.
If I'm being honest, my ego may have gotten the best of me, and I was a little annoyed that he was all in my business.
That's what he does, John. He's an investigative journalist.
Yeah, well, he's treating the investigating part like he's auditioning for the damn FBI.
Well, I was doing perfectly fine until he showed up. Josiah, what are you doing here?
What? I can't visit our beautiful home?
My home, not yours.
Right. And you look as gorgeous as ever, by the way.
Cut the crap. Say what you came to say and leave.
I had an interesting interview today. Sat down with a very powerful man. Charismatic, smart, knows his way around business and supposedly around you.
What are you talking about?
John Manjaro. So tell me, Mel, have you been sleeping with your client?
My personal life isn't your business. But no, I have not.
Not my business? See, that's where you're wrong. The thought of you being with someone else does something to me.
As if I owe you anything. What are you going to do, Josiah? Hit me again?
Let's not go back there, Mel. I was drunk that night.
Did you mean to do it the second time? I need you out of my life. For good. Next time you even try to show up here, you're going to jail.
You're making a mistake.
No. The mistake was ever letting you think you had control over me.
You'll regret this.
I doubt it.
He hit you?
It was some time ago. It doesn't matter now.
It matters to me. If he ever comes near you again, I'll make sure he never walks away from it. That's a promise.
John, I'm not a victim. I handled it.
You shouldn't have had to. I don't ever want to be a source of pain for you. You mean a lot to me. I need you to understand that. I'm so sorry. Come to England with me.
What?
I'm leaving for England in a few days, for business, and I want you to come with me. You said you needed a break. Maybe this is what you need. A change of scenery, a chance to breathe. Just promise me you'll think about it.
Let's sit out here with our coffees and go over a game plan before we go in. It's really beautiful in there. I don't want you to go over budget, like I do sometimes. Woody, is something wrong? Talk to me.
I thought I was doing better, but today, it just hit me.
I know most people just assume he's gone by now.
I feel he is. I miss him.
I know I'm just your interior designer, but Woody, I think of us as friends too.
I'm glad you feel that way. There's something I want to tell you, and I don't want you to share this with anyone else. Understand?
Of course, Woody.
I'm gay.
Woody, that's okay. I mean, my brother is gay. Matter of fact, you remind me of him so much. Maybe that's why I feel so close to you.
That's not all. There's something else I need to tell you.
If I knew I was meeting the Queen of Italy, I would have thrown on something more decent. What's with the getup?
I didn't want to be seen with you, Akamu.
Now that hurts my feelings.
I'm not sure what we couldn't discuss over the phone.
Well, everything's been hush-hush around me lately.
I wonder why that may be.
Hey, I fixed the problem. Like I told John before, he's more of a witness than a suspect. He has nothing to worry about. But I entrusted you to convince him about me taking over the bay for him.
Well, I have, at times. John is leaving for England in a few days to handle some business.
England?
Yes.
What part?
What does it matter?
Man disappears for a few days, leaves his empire behind. I like to know where my competition is.
Competition?
What day is he leaving?
Soon. This is the time to show John what you're really about.
Is that so?
Let's just say opportunities like this don't come often.
I just needed to share this with someone. It's been eating me up inside. You're like my only true friend here. Nathaniel and I, we were lovers. He was the love of my life, Mel. The night he disappeared, before he went to his family home, he was with me. He told me he had to skip town for a while, said he'd come back when it was safe.
Safe? From what?
I didn't understand at the time. He didn't mean to tell me. He slipped. He said there was a man looking for him. A man called Smoke. The moment he realized what he'd said, he panicked. He grabbed my hands and told me to never repeat that name again. Ever. He said he didn't want me to get hurt.
Woody, do you think this Smoke guy had something to do with Nathaniel's disappearance?
I have a feeling he did. Nathaniel told me not to go to the police. So I've been sitting on this for too long.
Do you think this Smoke is still around?
I have no idea. I don't even know what he looks like.
What do you think you're going to do?
I don't know.
Damn, we've both been busy. I miss my best friend.
Miss me? Now you know that's not true.
Excuse me? You have been a tad distant. Woody's your new bestie now.
You're being dramatic.
Always. But really, I just called to check on you. I know that was a bit crazy, Josiah showing up like he did. I mean, what did he want?
Yeah, he was just being Josiah, that's all.
So, are you gonna take that mini trip you were talking about? Where were you going again? Mexico?
Oh, I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? Bags packed, but you're not going?
I don't know, Julia. I might just get some things done around here instead.
You do need a break though.
I'll be fine.
Fine, but don't let me catch you working when you should be relaxing.
Noted.
All right, I gotta go, but we're getting together soon. No excuses.
I promise.
We should arrive at Farnborough Airport by 3 p.m. From there, we'll take the car to Berkshire and you'll be at your estate a little before 4.
Thank you, Henry.
The staff is getting everything ready for your arrival, sir. Any special requests for the flight? Hors d'oeuvres? Wine?
No requests. Is there anything you'd like?
No, I'm good, thanks.
You sure? I know you like sushi. At least that's what you used to order while we worked on the house.
I didn't know you were so observant, John.
Miss Banks, have you ever been in a private jet before? This might be one for the books. I hope you enjoy it.
No, this would definitely be my first time. I would have packed an I Love My Billionaire Boss t-shirt if I knew this was such a special occasion.
Cute.
Sounds like you've got your hands full, sir.
Oh, you have no idea.
You can feel it on the streets on a day like this. It feel like summer.
You doing okay?
I'm fine.
You know, you've never really told me much about your family.
There's not much to know.
Would you share with me anyway?
I come from a well-off family, thanks to my parents' hard work. My mom, she's a best-selling author.
Didn't see that coming.
Most people don't. She's always been the dreamer, the creative one, but also the strongest person I know. My father, I don't talk much about him, but let's just say his work kept him busy. It was just me and my brother. He's the oldest. He was like my best friend. We were so close.
What happened?
My marriage happened. It wasn't just a bad relationship, it was abusive. And I failed to tell my brother. By the time things got worse, I just cut ties altogether. I didn't want him to see me as weak.
So the only people who knew
were my mom and Julia, and that was after the divorce.
You weren't weak, Mel.
You weren't there.
I didn't have to be. Does your brother know now?
No.
Hopefully you two can work it out.
Yeah.
I haven't been here often. This property, it's peaceful. My family doesn't care for it much. They never have. I'm the only one who comes here, and I think it's the best place to be when I want to get away.
It's beautiful here.
Glad you think so. Let's head inside. Henry's already here. He placed your luggage in the main room where you'll be staying. I'll take the guest room.
I'm outside in an AMG, right outside, TT, two-turn baby girl.
John, this is gorgeous. Who designed this?
A French designer, Camille Laurent.
Did you sleep with her too? Seems like you have a thing for designers.
No, you're the first, the only, and the last. Come on, let me show you something else. This is an office space. I don't plan on using it, but I can see it being useful for something or someone. I plan to retire in this home one day. I think it'll be worth it. How about you head upstairs to the main bedroom? It's on the right. Take a moment to settle in. I'll check in with Henry. I just wanted to show my appreciation for you joining me on this trip. Hopefully this isn't too much.
John, I can't accept this.
You can. It's just my way of making sure you're comfortable here. Go ahead and settle in, and I'll get with the chef about dinner.
I'm glad you decided to join me instead of sitting in the car. This is literally a vacation, Henry.
A vacation to you, Ms. Banks, but I am actually working. However, I must say I am pleased to join you, especially for the tea.
Henry, do you know about me and John?
I don't know. Depends who's asking. I'm kidding. Of course, I know about you and John. Marco may be his right hand, but I'm the one who really knows about his whereabouts.
Is that so?
This is new for him, you know? John doesn't do personal. He doesn't waste time on things that don't serve a purpose, but you're not just some detour, I can tell.
You always this wise, Henry.
Only when necessary.
You know, John, I didn't even know you were in the country.
Finn, you know we have history. I knew you were here the moment you stepped off the plane. I also know you run off to this little hideaway of yours whenever you sniff trouble.
Can't fault a man for having instincts.
How's the family?
Family's good. The kids are growing like weeds. How's yours?
They're fine, but I don't want to waste any time. Are you stealing my product, Finn?
Ah, yeah, your guy Marco had Marcel slain into bits. That was so unnecessary, John.
Marcel should have known better.
Come on, John, you and I, our families, your father, my uncle, we have an alliance.
Right, and you and I, Finn?
We've had our run-ins before.
We have, and yet I keep catching you playing both sides.
John, that's ancient history, but I have been hearing things. There's a new Haitian group clouding Paris. They're aggressive, reckless, and they've been making waves in places they shouldn't be. They may have something to do with your missing product. I believe Marcel was working for them also. My guys just haven't been able to identify their leader.
Then I guess I'll need to have a conversation with them next.
Always a pleasure, John.
Let's keep it that way. I don't mean to bother you. Just wanted to let you know. I'll be on the bedroom balcony for a bit. I like to chill out there at night. Didn't want to disrupt your privacy.
You're not bothering me, John.
All right, just letting you know. Something about this place, it's calm, gives me time to think.
What do you think about?
I know before I may have come on too strong about how I feel about you. I don't want to scare you away, so I'll go at your pace. Whatever you want, no rush, because I don't want to lose you. I'm going to let you rest. I'll see you in the morning.
I don't want to sleep alone tonight.